Hello everyone, good morning. Am I audible? Perfect. Okay. So let's begin with the session here. Okay. And I had told right today there would be mock here. Okay. So I'm not sure if I'm able to take by evening. Okay. Let me plan up. Okay. Okay. So let me decide. Okay. Because I'm not sure if I'm free or not. Okay. But I'll update you. But be prepared with mock here. Okay. So great. So what are we going to talk about in today's session is a very important topic. Okay, trust me, this topic will play a major role in your interview. Okay, so make sure you concentrate well. Okay, because it's slightly tricky, but at the same time, it's pure common sense. Okay, so make sure try to understand. Okay, it's all about constructors here. Okay, now in today's session, we are going to deal with a topic called as constructor chaining. Okay, what is the topic we're going to deal with? We are going to deal with a topic called as constructor chaining. What is constructor chaining? One constructor calling another constructor. That's it. Okay. There should be multiple constructors. That is when one constructor can call another constructor. And the process of having multiple constructors is called as what? Constructor overloading. Correct. So overloading meaning the process of having multiple constructors. And once I have multiple constructors, one constructor will call another constructor. That is called as chaining here. Okay. Constructor chaining will happen in two ways. Okay. The first one is with the help of this calling statement. This calling statement, we call this as what? This calling statement. We write it as this of, but we generally call it as this calling statement. Okay. With the help of this calling statement, I can achieve constructor chaining in the same class. I can achieve constructor chaining in same class. Got the clarity here? Okay. And then we also make use of, one more calling statement. That calling statement is nothing but super calling statement. What do we call it as? We call it as super calling statement. Got the clarity here? And this super calling statement is used to invoke another constructor in another class. Okay. It is used to call another constructor in another class present here. For that, is a relationship is mandatory. Sir, slightly confusing, sir. What is happening, sir? 101% you will have that confusion. Okay. Until and unless I explain it in a beautiful manner, you will never ever get understand the process. Okay, now. But we will try to understand in a beautiful way. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, now. Just concentrate. Okay, just concentrate for one program so you'll get the clarity. Okay, see here, guys. I will have a class. Class is a blueprint of an object, and the class name I can take anything. I'll just take it as demo. Open curly braces and close curly braces. Is this a syntactically valid class? Valid class? Absolutely. Okay. Now I will have a constructor. Class name is demo and the constructor name is demo. Okay. Open parenthesis close and open curly braces close here. This is one constructor. Can I have one more constructor? Yes, sir. You can have any number of constructors. Demo, open parenthesis close and open curly braces close here. As of now, is it a syntactically valid class? Is this my question? Okay. My question is this a syntactically valid class? Okay. So your answer is no. Okay. Your answer is no. Why no, sir? Okay. I'll tell you here. Okay. Now, so what is constructor overloading basically? Sir, in a class, having multiple constructors is called as constructor overloading. And when I have multiple constructors, there should be a change in the arguments here. But look here, there is no change in the number of arguments, no change in the data type, nor there is no change with respect to the arguments here. Got the clarity here? Okay. So this is what we are supposed to understand here. This is not valid here. Therefore, now I just pass it as int a. Now is it valid? Absolutely. Why? Sir, there is a change in the number of arguments. Perfect, guys. Now here I will just print system dot out dot, I'll just print the output as 1. Okay, now SOP, the output as 2. Okay, that's it, guys. Now, sir, common sense, sir, whenever you create an object, that is when the constructor will get called here. For my understanding, I will just write it as start, okay, and at the end here, at the last, I will write it as end. Okay, start and end. Now, apply common sense and tell me if I tell demo D equals to new demo of. Now tell me what will be the expected output. What will be my expected output? Okay, start and end will definitely get executed. Will it print 1? Will it print 2? Or will it print nothing? Okay, think and tell me what will be the output here. I'm expecting answers. Now it's interactive, guys. Okay, for the next half an hour, it will be complete interaction. Okay, so you need to keep on responding. Okay, the answer will be 2. Okay, very good. How, sir? How did we get the answer as 2, sir? Common sense. Why? Sir, execution starts from main method. Start will definitely get executed, right? This line will get executed, start will get executed. Now when I create an object, sir, constructor also will get executed, sir. I am not passing any argument, sir. Therefore, the control will go here, sir. 2 will get printed. And then the control will come back to the caller, sir. End here. This is scenario number 1. Very good. Okay, very good. Got it? Similarly, now I will pass 10 over here. Can you tell me what will be the output here? Simple, sir. Execution starts from main method, sir. Start will get executed, sir. When I invoke the constructor, I am passing one integer argument, sir. Therefore, the control will go to A, sir. A value is 10, sir. But I'm printing 1, sir. 1 will be printed. Control will come back and then end will get printed. So what did you understand, sir? In my program, I can have multiple constructors. In one class, we can have multiple constructors. But at a time, we can invoke only one. When I create one object, I can invoke only one constructor. If there are 10 constructors, I had to create 10 objects. Correct. But in order to avoid it, we have something called as this calling statement. What is the job of this calling statement? Invoking one constructor present in the same class. Okay, let us try to do this. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'll make use of this of, okay, 10 here. Now what did you understand, sir? What are you trying to do, sir? I will tell you. Concentrate now, okay? If you're sleeping, slap yourself and wake up. Okay, now concentrate. Now your execution starts from main method, correct? Start will definitely get executed, and then when I create an object, constructor will get invoked. From here, the control will go slowly here. The control will go to this constructor, correct? This is step number 1. And what is the first line in this constructor? This of 10. When I tell this of 10, I have to invoke another constructor present in the same class. This calling statement is used to invoke another constructor in the same class. This of 10 meaning I am slowly from here, the control is going to this constructor which is accepting integer argument A, and I'm passing the value called as 10 here. Therefore the control goes here, value of A is 10. So here, is there any calling statement here? No. 1 will get printed, correct? And after that the control will slowly go back to the same constructor call here. And what is the next line? 2 will get printed here. And after this execution, the control will go back to the same constructor call and then end here. So the output will be start 1 to end here. Got the clarity? Sir, can you explain it once again, sir? So just observe, okay? From here, when I invoke this constructor, control will go here. And then when I tell this of 10, what is the first line of implementation? This of 10. From here, the constructor will go to this constructor. One constructor is calling another constructor, wherein 1 will get printed, control comes back to the caller, 2 will get printed, control comes back to the caller, and then end here. So the output will be start 1 and 2 end here. So I created only one object, but I was able to invoke both the constructors. That is called as constructor chaining. What is constructor chaining? The process of one constructor calling another constructor is called as constructor chaining. And within the same class, in order to achieve constructor chaining, we make use of this calling statement. Got it? Can we understand the execution once? Okay, and I'll talk about it again. Today, entire section is dedicated for chaining concept. Okay, now people who slightly had difficulties in understanding, okay, you have to concentrate, extra effort. Stop thinking about your boyfriend, girlfriend for some time and start concentrating on the topic here. Okay, now here we have a project called as constructors which is already created. Now let me create one package under it. Okay, control N and I will create a package and the package name is chaining. Okay, and the package name is chaining here. Okay, there was a project called as constructors and there was a package called as chaining. Under the chaining package, let me create a class. Control N PACK. Okay, package. Okay, and then oh, I'm done creating a package, right? I have to create a class. Sorry. Okay, a package is already created. I have to create a class, and the class name is demo. Okay, and the class name is demo. So now I'll maximize the screen so that we can understand. Okay, this is a class. We all know what is the meaning of it. I need not keep on telling 100 times, right? Now I will have one constructor. See, class name, constructor name, same. Okay, class name, constructor name, same. But now, can I have multiple constructors in the same class? 101% yes. If I have multiple constructors in the same class, it is called as constructor overloading. But in order to achieve constructor overloading, I need to have multiple constructors. But those multiple constructors, there should be certain changes. If there is no changes here, execution will never happen. Okay, there will be an error here. So here I will tell the second constructor will accept one. Oh, okay, you can tell first constructor, any constructor, it doesn't matter. It will accept an argument called as A here. So here I will just print the value called as, okay, I just print it as 1. I'm just understanding the executional flow. Okay, now I'm not trying to print some random content here. I just wanted you all to understand the flow of execution. Okay, now here, as of now, okay, let me try to do it in a single line. See, sys out, I will write it as start, sys out, I'll write it as end. Perfect. So now what will be the output? Sir, execution starts from main method, sir. You have only start and end. Ashte. Okay, now when I execute it here, I should be able to get only start and end. Did I get it as start and end? Absolutely. Okay, now, sir, I want to invoke one constructor, sir. What will I do? Create an object. See, you can just write new demo or you can just write it as this way. Because yesterday I told you, this is absolutely a valid object creation. But once an object will get created, no one is pointing. There is no reference variable pointing to it. Therefore, you will tell d equals to new. So it means we are pointing demo d equals to d, meaning d is pointing to an object called as demo here. So you can remove this also. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't write it, it is absolutely valid. Okay, but since I just don't want to confuse you all, I'll just write it like this. Okay, this is the way you are familiar with. Okay, let me write it that way. Okay, now what will be the output? Sir, start constructor will get executed. But which constructor will get executed? Press Control on your keyboard. Hover on the constructor call. Click on the constructor call. Look, where is the control taking? The control is taking to the second constructor, wherein I will print 2. Control comes back end here. So the output is start to end here. Okay, I got the output as start to end here. This is called as constructor. Okay, I mean we are invoking the constructor. Okay, now here I will pass some argument called as 10. Now what will happen? Start, okay, end. Now which constructor will get executed? Press Control on your keyboard. Hover on the constructor call. I call it. So where is the control taking me to? It's taking to the first constructor wherein the A value is 10. Okay, the A value became 10 here because I passed 10 here, right? and then 1 will get printed. Okay, so now when I execute it, it start 1 and end here. Got it? Perfect. Sir, but my requirement is I should be able to create only one object, sir, but both the constructors should get executed, sir. Therefore, I have to make use of this calling statement. What am I supposed to make use of? This calling statement. This of. When I tell this of, I am trying to call another constructor in the same class. This calling statement. But if I want to invoke this constructor, okay, if I'm trying to invoke this constructor, it is accepting an integer argument A. So I have to pass the integer argument as A here. I mean some value here. So now what will be the output? Apply common sense. Start will get executed. When I create an object, constructor will get invoked. I'm not passing any arguments. So the control will go to this constructor. Now when I tell this of 10, what happens? This 10 value will get stored into A. I am calling another constructor in the same class. A value will be 10. 1 will get printed, control comes back to the caller, 2 will get printed, control comes back to the object, and then end will get printed. So the output will be start, 1, 2 and end here. Whereas I can do this in one more way also. I can pass 10 over here and I can write this off. Now what is the output? See, start will get executed. I am passing demo of 10. So the first constructor will get executed. But here what is the first line? This of. I am invoking another constructor in the same class which is not accepting any argument. See, press control on your keyboard, hover on the call, constructor call, click on it. See, the control is going over here. 2 will get printed, control comes back to the caller, 1 will get printed, control comes back to the caller, end will get printed. So now the output will be 2, 1 and end here. Because the calling statement is first and then later we are trying to print the content. So this is all about, okay, constructor chaining. What is constructor chaining? One constructor is calling another constructor. Okay, now we'll talk about the nodes. Okay, now we have a lot of nodes here. Okay, but here we will talk about the nodes. See, what is constructor chaining? Okay, constructor chaining is nothing but the process of one constructor calling another constructor. Got the clarity now? But constructor chaining can be achieved only in case of overloading. Common sense, no? Only when I have multiple constructors, that is wherein one constructor can call another constructor. So the process of having multiple constructors is called as overloading. So chaining is possible only in case of overloading. If you have overloading, chaining can be achieved. But constructor chaining can be achieved in two ways. What is the first way? Constructor chaining can happen in same class with the help of this calling statement, that is this of. And the second point, constructor chaining can be achieved in another class with the help of super calling statement, that is super of and easy relationship. That I will talk about it later. But as of now, these are the few things which we are supposed to understand here. Okay, I hope we all got the clarity about, okay, the process of understanding the data here. Okay, it's a very simple part here which we need to understand over here. Got it? There is some note here which I will be talking about it in some time. Okay, don't worry. So now we'll go back to the program here. Let me check if there are any questions so that I could answer to your questions. There is so this is a sort of overloaded keyword. Okay, it's not like overloaded keyword here. The same this meaning, see, this meaning, it points to the current object. When I tell this of, it's like I'm pointing to the current object's constructor. Okay, it's all like I'm pointing to the current object only. It's not overloaded keyword. We don't have a term called as overloaded keyword. Okay, so this is just the process over here. Okay, but the functionality will differ. Okay, but yeah, kind of. Okay, perfect. So we'll see one more example here so that wherein I want you all to understand the concept here. Now it's up to you to predict the output. Okay, now I have a beautiful class called a student. Okay, and I will have a constructor. Okay, I will have a constructor. That constructor is class name is student. Okay, so the constructor name should also be student here. open parenthesis close, open curly braces close. Here I will tell int age here. Got it? Got the clarity here? Now here I will have one more constructor. Student, see, student. Now here I will have one more variable. Okay, int height here, height. Okay, now it's giving an error. Why? Sir, the process of having multiple constructors is called as constructor overloading. But when I have constructor overloading, they should be changed in arguments. Sir, variable name is different, no sir? It doesn't matter. It's a duplicate method wherein the data type is int and int. So here I'll just write it as double. Will it work fine? Absolutely. Now here I will tell student. Okay, I'll remove this public. Here I'll write it as string name here. Okay. Now you have to predict. Okay, predict the output here. Okay. So I'll just write it as name. Name will be printed. Here height. Okay. Height will be printed. And then age will be printed. Okay, perfect. I'll have my main method wherein the execution will always begin from. So here it's a simple program which I'm going to do. Okay, you need to just concentrate over here. Okay, so here I am passing 5.6. Okay, when I pass 5.6 here, which of the three constructors will get executed? Sir, it's common sense, sir. Okay, I am passing 5.6. Obviously, the second constructor will get executed because this is double and I'm passing double value. Correct? And if I pass it as 16, what did you understand? Sir, I'm passing an integer value, sir. Therefore, the first constructor will get executed, sir. Perfect. And then, if I pass Tom, sir, I'm passing a string argument, sir. Therefore, the third constructor will get executed. Right? Perfect. Now, when I execute the program, you have to predict the output. Okay. So, I'll pass, okay, see here, 5.5. Okay, and here I'll tell this of 22. Okay, and here I will write this of I'll write it as Tom. Okay, now you have to tell me the sequence. Okay, imagine the height is 5.8. Can you tell me the sequence here? What will be the expected output now? Think and tell me what will be the expected output of this entire program here. Okay, sequence. Can you tell me the sequence, guys? What will be the sequence here? Okay, think and tell me. I'm giving you time. Okay, think and tell me. Yeah, there's one question used for variable and calling constructor. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, we could understand that way around as well. Okay, so now here, quickly tell me what will be the output. Okay, when I create an object over here. Okay, and I am passing. Okay, I am passing. Just a moment. 5.8. Yeah, perfect. Now guys, can you tell me the sequence of the output? Can you tell me the output, guys? Think and tell me. Take time. Take time and tell me what will be the output. Oh, it's easy. It's easy. You should apply common sense. Okay. I got a few output. Okay. So let us try to understand the sequence. Okay. First, will it print name, height, or age? Okay. So I'm just asking those requirement. Okay, na? Very good. Okay. So majority of you have told it right, sir. Execution will always start from main method, sir. Therefore, I have created an object and I am invoking the constructor as well, sir. Therefore, I am passing 5.8. Okay. So obviously, the height will get initialized to, okay, 5.8 here. So my control is in this specific block here, right? But what is the first line of implementation over here? This of 22, meaning I have to invoke another constructor in the same class, which is accepting an integer argument. So when I tell this of 22, press Ctrl on my keyboard, hover on the constructor call, and click on it. It's going to the first constructor. Now the age has been initialized to 22. Okay, what is the age initialized to? Age has been initialized to 22. But again, what is the first line of implementation? this of Tom, meaning I am calling another constructor in the same class wherein I am passing one string argument. This of Tom. The control goes over here wherein the name will now get initialized to. Okay, the name will now get initialized to Tom here. Very good. Okay, now what am I doing here? First, Tom will get printed name, and what is the name I have passed? Tom. Tom will get printed. After this constructor got executed, it has to go back to the caller. Who was the caller? This guy. And what is the next line of implementation? Age equals to 22. And after executing this constructor, the control goes back to its caller. Who called him? The second constructor. So the height will get printed here. And the control will come back to the caller. So the output will be name, age, height. Okay, that should be your requirement. So did I get the expected output? See, name, age, height. Did I get the output here? Absolutely. So this is how we are supposed to understand the chaining perspective here. Okay, this is what we are supposed to understand chaining perspective here. Got the clarity here? This is all about constructor chaining. Got it? Perfect. Great. Okay. Now here, I'll go back to my notes here. Okay. Now there is something called as the first part. Okay. What is the first line here? This calling statement or super calling statement should always be the first executable line within the constructor. Correct? It should always be the first executable line within the constructor. It means whatever, see, this is my constructor. Correct? This is my constructor block. If I write this particular line in the second line, it will give me an error. There's a mandatory rule. If I hover on it, it will tell constructor call must be the first statement in a constructor, meaning this is the second line within the constructor. Okay, but this calling statement, or it might also be super calling statement, which we are going to talk in some time, it should always be the first executable line within the constructor call. We cannot write it anywhere here. Got it, everyone here? Okay, so this is one such example. Now the second point, okay, recursive chaining is not possible in Java. Sir, what is recursive chaining, sir? I will tell you. Okay, Control N, I will create a class and the class name is car. Okay, here I will tell car string brand. Okay, one variable method variable is brand, and there is one more constructor which will accept the cost. Okay, now understood now. So now here, okay, what I'll do here, I'll print the brand. Okay, so it's not necessary over here. I'll just write it as this of 500, 5000. Okay, or else I'll write 500 is sufficient. Okay, and here I will write it as this of, I will write it as a BMW. Okay, so now when I execute it over here, I will get an error. Why, sir? Why is that error? Error, sir, I will tell you. See, car C equals to new car of, I pass it as BMW. Okay, I pass it as BMW over here. Okay, now, so now internally what is happening over here? See, when I create an object over here, I am passing a string argument, correct? So the control will go to the first constructor. And what is the line here? This of 500. The control will come to this constructor. Again, this of BMW. The control will go to this constructor. And this of 500, this constructor will get executed. This of BMW, this constructor will get executed. So this is called as recursive chaining. If I just hover on it, can you see? Recursive constructor within invocation car end, meaning recursively one constructor is calling another constructor. Okay, recursively each other, they are calling each other all the time. Therefore, if there are n constructors, we can have a maximum of n minus 1 calling statements. Meaning, if there are 10 constructors, we can have only 10 minus 1, 9 calling statements present over here. We cannot have many. We can have only 9 calling statements. Got the clarity here? So this is called as recursive chaining. Recursive chaining meaning, as I told you here, see here guys, if I tell car, okay, here it will accept int a. Okay, now, so here it will accept car double B. Correct. So now here what will happen, so I will make use of a statement. this of 5.5, and here I'll tell this of 20. Okay, and when I create an object car C equals to new car of, okay, I pass 5.5. So now internally what will happen? Sir, when we create an object, constructor will get called here. So this constructor will get executed. So this of 20 meaning control will go here, and this of 5.5 meaning control will go here. Again this of 20 meaning control will go here. This of 25 meaning control will go here. This of 20. See, can you see here? Recursively they are calling each other here. This recursive chaining is not possible. See, if there are two constructors, we can have 2 minus 1 calling statement. That is, at the maximum, I can have only one calling statement. So either I have to use it over here, or either I have to use it over here. Got it? If there are 10 constructors, we can have 10 minus 1, that is 9 calling statements. 10 constructors, 9 calling statements. Else, recursive chaining will be happening here. So what are the two notes here which we saw here? Either this calling statement or super calling statement should always be the first executable line within the constructor. We cannot use it in the second line. And recursive chaining is not possible. That is, one constructor cannot call another and that guy will call him. Okay, that recursively calling is not possible. Therefore, if there are n constructors, we can have only n minus 1 calling statements. Got it? So we understood the first half of the session. Okay. Okay, sir. What is the second half, sir? The second half is we have to make use of something called as super calling statement. Okay. What is super calling statement? All this while, constructor chaining was happening in the same class, correct? But super calling statement is used to call constructor of another class. For the two rules are necessary. One is a relationship and other one is super calling statement. If I have to achieve super calling statement, another constructor, if I want to call the constructor of another class, I have to always make use of super calling statement. Again, that will happen in two ways. Okay. Super statement also will happen in two ways. That is implicitly and explicitly, which I will talk about it later. Okay. So now here, I will give you one more example. Okay, for understanding super calling statement. Okay, so now here let me understand this particular program and I'll summarize at the end. Okay, now have patience here when I'll try to summarize at the end here. Okay, so great. Okay, so the questions all I'll answer it later. Okay, so here I will have, okay, first class. Okay, and imagine I have the class name as father here. Okay, class name is father, open curly braces and close curly braces. Okay, and then here, okay, and then over here, I'll have one constructor. Class name and constructor name should always be same. Open parenthesis close, open curly braces, close here. Okay, and then here I will just write one line of implementation as SOP. I'll just write it as 1 here. Okay, that's it. I'm done with one set of the program here. Okay, I'm done with one set of the program. Now here, what I'll do here, the next set is I will create one more class. Okay, class, I'll have one more class called as son. Okay, open curly braces and close curly braces. Okay, done everyone. And then here, even son will have a constructor. Open parenthesis close, open curly braces, close here. And he will have one line of implementation which will state system.out.println. I will just print it as 2 here. Okay, great. After that, I will have my main method, okay, wherein the execution will always begin from. Okay, open curly braces and close curly braces. Clear? Now here, I will create an object of, okay, son here. Son is equals to new son of. Okay, son of. So now what is happening over here is, sir, you create an object. Okay, I'll also have is a relationship. Okay, I will just write it as extends father. Okay, now quickly tell me what will be your output here. Think and tell me what will be your output. Okay, I've done something. No, I've done. It's a valid class. Okay, now think and tell me what will be the output. Think, even if you're wrong, it's fine. I just want you all to understand. Okay, so just tell me the output. Okay, so majority of you have told the answer as 2. Okay, the answer as 2, right? Very good. Okay, so let me execute the program here. Okay, now let me execute the program. This is recursive chaining, which is not possible. Okay, now recursive chaining is not possible. Okay, control N, I create a class called as father. Okay, and then I will also have a constructor. Okay, father, open parenthesis close, and I'll just write one print statement as 1. Okay, perfect. I have a beautiful class. You can remove this public. Okay, it doesn't matter as of now, but we are not working around with public as of now. Okay, I'll have one more class called as sun. Okay, and I'll have one more class called as test, wherein we are going to execute it. Okay, so now over here, we just need to understand the flow of execution. Okay, this is very, very, very important now. Okay, so here I'll have sun. Here I'll just write the implementation as 2. Okay, so now here I'll have my main method wherein the execution will always begin from, right? So now over here, what I'll do, I will just create an object of sun. Okay, new sun of. Guys, here there is no easy relationship, nothing. Okay, there's no easy relationship, nothing over here. So now when I just execute it, okay, just when I now, if I just execute it, just understand. When I execute it, oh, I'm so sorry, I have to place my cursor in the class which has the main method. Okay, so now when I execute, I got the output as 2. Why? Sir, you have created an object of sun. When I create an object of sun class constructor will get executed, 2 will get executed. There is no easy relationship as of now, nothing. So the output worked fine. But now, as soon as I have extends father, as soon as I tell extends father, there is easy relationship now. So now when I try to execute the program here, I will get the output as 1 and 2. Oh my god, what happened over here? I will tell you now. Okay, see here guys, concentrate. Okay, this is the point which I'm going to tell now is very important. Okay, see here, when we create an object of a class, okay, one moment. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So I lost my audio. Now I'll repeat. Okay. I'll repeat here. When you create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, okay, and if that superclass has a non-parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor will invoke it implicitly, meaning implicitly there is a super calling statement which is used here, that is implicitly. Got the clarity here? I repeat what I told here. When we create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, and if that superclass has a non-parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor will invoke it implicitly. Therefore, when I create an object here, the control will go here, but there is super calling statement which is implicitly used. So from here, the control will go here. 1 will get printed, comes back, 2 will get printed. Got the clarity here? So therefore, in this specific example, we are getting 1 and 2. Why? Because there is an implicit super calling statement used here. There is an implicit super calling statement used internally. So therefore, when I execute it, see, I will always get the output as 1 and 2. But if there is no super class, if there is no super class, see here, the output will simply be 2. The output will simply be 2. Why? Because there's no super class, no easy relationship, nothing. No crap at all. So it will work fine. Got it. Perfect. Great. Now, we understood the first half. Hey, wait, guys, I have to explain a lot of things here, okay? I'll give you the clarity at the end, okay? You'll have a lot of fun here, okay? Wait for it, okay? Trust me, you'll have fun, okay? Now, understand one more part. Imagine, okay? Imagine, just a moment. Uh, I will take one argument called as int x. Now can you tell me what will be the output? Okay, now tell me what will be the output. Think and tell me what will be the output. It's parameterized constructor now. Now what should be the output? Very good, very good, very good. Think and tell me, think and tell me. I just got answers from two of you. Rest of you all are sleeping. No, right? Very good. I want answers from everyone. Very good. Perfect. And majority of you are wrong. Not majority, every one of you are wrong. Okay. I know it. Why? I know it. Because you're still learning it, right? I'll tell you. Sir, why sir I'm wrong? Why the hell am I wrong, sir? Okay, I will tell you. Okay. Understand carefully. When you create an object of a subclass, I repeat, when you create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, and if that superclass has a parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor has to invoke it explicitly. If I don't invoke it explicitly, I will get compile time error, or we call it as compilation error. Therefore, if there is parameterized constructor in the superclass, the subclass constructor has to invoke it explicitly. If I don't do it, I will get compile time error. Okay. So now I have to mandatorily tell super of. When I tell super of, I am invoking the superclass constructor. Who is the superclass here? Father. I am invoking the father class constructor, which is accepting an integer argument. So I have to pass one integer argument. So now what happens? When I tell new son, control goes here. So super of 10 meaning I am invoking the superclass constructor, that is father. X value will become 10. 1 will get printed, then 2 will get printed. That's it. I'll get the output as 1 and 2 only. But if there is parameterized constructor, I have to invoke it explicitly. This is the funda behind it. Okay. So now I go back over here. I go back over here and I will have int x here. Can you see here? Okay. Can you see here? Just I will tell extends father. Okay. Now when I tell extends father, can you see an error over here? Why? Sir, when we create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, and if that class has a superclass, and if that superclass has a parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor has to invoke it explicitly. Look at the error. Implicit super constructor father is undefined, must explicitly invoke another constructor. Therefore, I should always tell super of. Okay, when I tell super of, I am invoking the father class constructor. Okay, but I have to pass an integer argument called as 10. Now, if I don't have easy relationship over here, look at the error here. When I tell super of 10, there is no superclass only, no. Which super of 10 meaning which superclass constructor will I invoke? There is an ambiguity. Therefore, when I use super calling statement, make sure you have super class here. But we have object class, all those. Okay, we'll talk about it later. Okay, but this is what I just wanted to tell. Clear? So now the output will again be 1 and 2 only. But if it is an explicit constructor, we have explicit parameterized constructor, invoke it explicitly. This is all about the entire process of understanding constructor chaining. Clear? Now I will tell you in beautiful manner. Okay. So just ignore. Okay. We'll talk about only super calling statement. Okay. Just understand each and every term here. Okay. Just closely observe. What is the job of super calling statement? Super calling statement is used to call another constructor in another class. Okay, we are trying to call one constructor calling another constructor is constructor chaining. But if I want to call the constructor outside the class in another class, I have to make use of easy relationship and super calling statement. Without easy relationship, super calling statement will not work. Okay, and then super calling statement can be used in two ways. One is implicitly. What is implicitly? Read out whatever I read. Okay, the same thing I've documented it. When we create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, okay, and if that superclass has a non-parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor will invoke it implicitly. Okay, so the subclass constructor will invoke the superclass constructor implicitly. But what is explicitly? The same thing. When we create an object of a class, and if that class superclass has a, and if that class has a superclass, and if that superclass has a parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor will invoke the superclass constructor explicitly. Meaning we have to invoke the superclass constructor explicitly. If not, we get compile time error here. Got the clarity here? So this is all about super calling statement and this calling statement. And the same funda, okay, the rules and regulations are always same. Okay, what is the note I'm telling over here? The note is, okay, the note whatever I told over here, it's always the same. Okay, so this calling statement or super calling statement should be the first executable line. I cannot write wherever I want, it should always be the first line. Why is it the first line? Is because always the super call, I mean, when I use super or this calling in the first statement, always the superclass property should be allocated first and then the subclass properties. Okay, now the memory allocation first it should happen for superclass properties and then the subclass properties. That is the reason here when I make use of super over here, the control goes to father, all the father class properties will get loaded in the memory, control comes back and the subclass properties will get loaded in the memory. That's the reason we make use of this specific funda here. Okay, this should always be the first calling statement. Now there are two constructors, 1 and 2. So if there are two constructors, maximum we can have 2 minus 1. That is one calling statement. See, super calling statement we had. This is all about constructor chaining. Got the clarity, guys? This is all about it, okay? This, trust me here, guys, okay? I'm not faking things over here. I'll tell you one small story over here, what I experienced here, okay? Now, when I completed my engineering and I was looking out for jobs, I used to attend a lot of interviews. This was the question they asked me. What is constructor chaining? Okay, trust me here. This has happened. Okay, this has happened in a company called as Clustech. I'll tell you the company name also. Okay, I was attending a company's interview, and the company name was Clustech Technologies. Okay, and the interviewer asked me, okay, what is constructor chaining? Okay, I told him a lot of things because I didn't know much about Java back then. Okay, I didn't know much. Okay, so whatever I knew, I just told. He told me, okay, you want to get a job, then you have to be strong enough in the core part of Java. You just cannot come and attend an interview and tell I don't know the answer. Okay, so this hurt me very deeply. Okay, I was like, what the hell? I'm from CS background. I'm not able to clear Java. Okay, so that pricked me very hard. Okay, that's the reason. That's one of the major reason here. I took 1 week's time to make sure that I'll study entire Java and attend an interview. Within 1 week's time, I prepared properly and I got a job also. Okay, so they tell you, no, you keep on attending interviews that will not prick you, okay, until and unless you get rejected from a face-to-face round. Freshers especially, okay, you will all take lightly as of now. Oh, I'm attending interviews, oh fun, it's all fun, but go to a face-to-face round, third round, get rejected and come back. Okay, that will hurt you. Okay, that you will go in depression also sometimes, but depression is not a good way of doing it. But make sure if you get rejected here, there was some drawback in you, correct? There was certain mistakes in you. Learn from your mistakes. No, whatever you committed over there, try to learn. For the next interview you attend, you have to be a new person altogether. Whatever you did in the previous interview, you shouldn't repeat. So this topic will play a major role, and majority of you will judge, okay, if you know the concept or not. Okay, whatever I did now, if you learn it thoroughly, probably, okay, most of the things will become easy. Okay, let me summarize once and I'll talk about it much in detail here. Okay, see here, guys. The topic which we discussed today was something called as constructor chaining. Okay, what is the topic we discussed? Constructor chaining. What is constructor chaining? One constructor calling another constructor. Okay, there should be minimum of two constructors. Common sense, no? One constructor should call another constructor, meaning I should have minimum two constructors. Correct? And chaining can be done only in case of overloading. Correct? No. Constructor chaining meaning, so the first two lines which I told. Okay, see? Constructor chaining meaning one constructor calling another constructor, and that can be done only in case of overloading. Without overloading, I cannot do chaining. Okay, done. This constructor chaining can happen in two ways. Am I right? Constructor chaining can happen in two ways. What is it? Sir, with the help of this calling statement and with the help of super calling statement and is a relationship. Okay, now this calling statement is used to invoke another constructor in same class. Do you agree with this point here? Constructor chaining is one constructor calling another. But the job of this calling statement is used to call or invoke another constructor in the same class. But whereas super calling statement and combination of is a relationship is used to invoke constructor of another class. That is also chaining. But we have to understand, is it in the same class or another class? Okay, this calling statement will happen in the same class, super calling statement will happen in another class. But again, this super calling statement will happen in two ways. Okay, what are those two ways? Implicitly and then explicitly. Okay, super calling statement will work in two ways. What is it? Implicitly and explicitly. What is implicitly? Okay, sir, when we create an object of a class, and if that class has a super class, see, I'm just understanding the flow. See, when we create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, and if that superclass has a non-parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor will invoke implicitly. Clear? But when we create an object of a class, and if that class has a superclass, and if that superclass has a parameterized constructor, the subclass constructor has to invoke it explicitly. If not, we will get compilation error. So whenever there is a relationship and constructors here, okay, you have to understand, is it implicit or explicit? If it is parameterized constructor in the superclass, invoke it explicitly. If not, you will get compile time error. Okay, na? And then, okay, if it is non-parameterized, it will invoke implicitly. Got the clarity? And I'll tell you one more thing. After 1 week, okay, I will ask the same question. Okay, I will ask the same question which I spoke about now. Okay, you will not answer. I bet you. Okay, I'm so much confident, I'm damn confident that whatever we discussed in today's session, after 1 week, you will encounter the same question. Okay, but majority of you will go wrong. Okay, these things I'm seeing from 3.5 years here. Okay, so none of you, you would have understood today's session here, but the drawback is you wouldn't have practiced it. Okay, so directly after one session, one week here, when I just relate the concept here, you tend to forget. Okay, human tendency. We are not born pros here. We are not. It's not a hard disk. We can store everything, but you need to practice it. Okay, so make sure you practice it, right? So this is all about constructor chaining, and there are certain rules. What is the first rule I told here? The first rule is this calling statement or super calling statement should be the first executable line. It should be the first executable line. The reason is because always the superclass properties are loaded first in the memory and then the subclass properties. That's the reason it should always be the first statement in a constructor. And second is recursive chaining is not possible. No recursive chaining. What is recursive chaining, sir? He will call him, see, he will call him, he will call him, he will call him, he will call. Okay, this infinity time, this is not possible. Recursive chaining is not possible. And third part, if there are n constructors, we can have only n minus 1 calling statements. Got the clarity here? We cannot have, if there are 1000 constructors, we can have 999 calling statements at the maximum. Okay, now, in order to avoid recursive chaining. This is all about constructor chaining in a beautiful manner. Got the clarity here? Any confusions, anyone? Anyone having any confusions here? Please do let me know. I hope I've answered all your questions here. Okay. Yeah, perfect, 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 perfect. Yeah, right. Quickly answer, guys. Do you all have any questions here? Very good. Okay. Very good. But we can do it in one more way also. Okay, what is that, sir? I will tell you. I'll tell you. Okay, have patience. I'll complete today's session. Okay, just wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, now here, guys, I'll have a class called as. Okay, I'll have a class called as employee. Okay, so here in employee class here, okay, what I'll do, I will have one constructor employee, I will write it as id, int id here. Okay, so here what I'll do, okay, and here I'll also have one more employee. Okay, employee, wherein just a moment, I'll pass here as string, or else I'll write it as int id comma string name over here. Okay, got the clarity here. So now here I'll just print the name over here, and here I'll print the id over here. Okay, just observe. Okay, but just observe what is happening. Okay, I will just create an object of employee. See, new employee of, I am passing 101 comma I am passing dinga here. Okay, so just tell me what will be the output of this program here. Okay, just observe. Okay, it's a pure simple program here. Okay, what will be the output here? Think and tell me. Think and tell me. Think, no, think. Okay, great, very good. Sir, you are creating an object, sir, and simultaneously the constructor will get called. So you are passing 101 which is stored into ID, and dinga will get stored into name. Very good. Okay, whatever you told is absolutely valid. ID will be 101 and name will get initialized to dinga here. Very good, very good. So now when I execute, did I get the expected output here? Yes. Okay. I should have got the expected output. Did I get? I got the output. Right. It's dinga. So whatever you told is absolutely valid. Similarly, I can make use of this of I can pass ID. When I tell this of ID, I'm passing the variable. Internally, it is 101 only. Okay, this is what I just wanted to tell. See, 101 and dinga is stored into ID and name respectively. So now when I tell this of ID, so whatever value is stored into ID, that is 101, is passed over here. This of ID meaning this of 101. So the control goes over here. ID value will become what here? The ID value will become 101. Okay, and ID is 101. Print, it gets printed. ID will get printed. Control comes back. Name gets printed. Now the output will be ID and name here. Did I get the ID and name? Yes, 101 and dinga. Got it? So it's not that we have to explicitly pass the values as 101. Rather, we can directly pass the variable. See, the content I have passed here, and I'm passing the variable content to him. So I'm playing around with the variables here. Got it? Perfect. Great. Okay. So we're done with one particular program. Okay. And the last example, which I just want to do it theoretically. Okay. So that you'll have loads of confidence in this particular data. Okay. Now, so I just want the answer for this question, guys. So just try to, pictorially analyze here. Okay. Class. I have a class called as A. Okay. Now, so just understand, guys. Okay. Just understand. And I'll have one constructor A int x open curly braces close, and I'll have A double y open curly braces close. This is one constructor. This is another constructor. Great. I'm done with the first half here. Okay. So now this is all about the content. I'll have one more class. Class name is B. Open curly braces, close, and I'll have is a relationship. That is extends A. And then I'll have B. I'll write it as int x. Okay. Int x, open curly braces, and I'll have B of this data here. Okay, now great. I'm done with the process. And now here I'm just printing system.out.println 1, system.out.println 2, okay, system.out.println 3, and system.out.println 4 here. Okay, so now here first of all I will tell here I'll tell it as this of, okay, this of, then I'll tell super of 10, okay, and here I'll tell this of you know, 10 here. Okay, great. So can you tell me what will be the output now? So when I create an object, see, I'll tell b obj, or else I'll directly tell new b of, okay, and I am passing 50. Can you tell me the output, guys? Output. I'm not explaining anything. Okay, you have to tell me the output. Ignore implicit, explicit now, because all the constructors I invoked here. So there is no concept of implicit or explicit because I am trying to invoke it. Okay, some or the other way I am invoking it. Okay, now don't try to think about implicit and explicit. Just go with the flow. Okay, when I invoke this constructor, where will it go? And that constructor, where will it go? Just analyze that thing and tell me what will be the output. Sequence. Okay, think and tell me. Think and tell me what will be the sequence. Think. It's fine. You're taking time. It's fine. But I just want you to understand the flow. Okay, what will be the sequence? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 2, 4, 1, or 4, 1, 2, 4, or whatever it is? Okay, that's up to you. You have to think and tell me. Even if you're wrong, it's fine. Just tell me the answers quickly. Okay, someone told the answer as 3, 2, 1, 4. Okay, any other choice here? Any other answers here? Hey, he might be wrong. Okay, he might be wrong. The output is 2, 1, 4, 3. Okay, compile time error. Oh, ignore syntax and all. Okay, compile time error won't be there. Okay, so okay, compile time error. Okay, so this is one option. Any other answers? Any other answers? Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, that's enough, I believe. Now I'll start explaining over here. Okay. So now first of all, compile time error won't be there. Okay. The reason is because I told sir superclass constructor parameters I want to invoke explicitly. I'm invoking it. No, I cannot invoke both the constructors at the same time. Okay. Now here rule number one, sir. You are creating an object. There's no main method, okay, nah. So ignore, okay. I'm just doing the high level view. Okay, don't tell sir no main method, sir. That is the reason you're getting an error, sir. Hey, I was just talking about the overview. Okay, now when I create an object over here, from here the control will go to the first constructor. Correct? The control will go to the first constructor, right? Now when I tell this of, it means I am invoking another constructor in the same class. The control will go here. And when I tell super of 10, from here, which is the super class A, from here, the control will go to this specific constructor. Super meaning super class constructor. This meaning same class constructor. This of 10 meaning, oh, I'm so sorry. Here I can give, okay, here I can give this also it will take, okay, concatenation. So I'll give it as 6 here, 10.6. Okay, because even if I pass 10, this will get executed. Okay, imagine I'm passing 10.6. Control will go over here. Okay, now here, what will be the output here? 2 will get printed. Okay, then it will go back to its caller. And what is the next thing? 1 will get printed. Now it will come back to its immediate caller. What is the next thing? 4 will get printed and it will come back to its next thing. Then what is the last part? 3, and the control will come back. So the output will be 2143. Okay, got the clarity here. So this is not the output. Compile time error probably you would have told because there's no main method, and probably here it was 10. That's the reason you told compile time error. Okay, great. But as of now, in the high level view, this is the executional flow which we need to understand. Got it? So this is all about constructor chaining. Okay, when we are completely done with chaining process. Okay, in simple terms, guys, whatever I told over here, okay, just remember this explicit diagram. Okay, once you remember this explicit diagram, that's more than sufficient. Okay, what is constructor chaining? One constructor is calling the constructor of, one constructor calling another constructor. And in order to achieve chaining, overloading should be there. This calling statement is used to invoke constructor in the same class, and super calling statement is used to invoke constructor of another class. And is a relationship is mandatory, and that can happen implicitly and explicitly. And this calling statement and super calling statement should be the first executable statement. Recursive chaining not possible, and if there are n constructors, only n minus 1 calling statements are allowed here. So this is all about the entire process here. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the session for today. I've done in the most ugliest way, but I hope everyone got the clarity about this part here. Okay, now I'm done with everything, guys, for the day. Okay. So do you all have any questions? Any questions? Okay. Programming classes, it's not yet scheduled. I'll let me cross check and let you know. Okay. Programming classes, I'm not sure who's going to take as well. Probably Karthik. Okay. Karthik sir should take. Okay. I'll let you know. Okay. Perfect. Any questions in today's session, guys? Yeah. I'll answer. Okay. So the first thing is, sir, mock. When is your mock? Okay. So mock, I need to plan. I thought it was today. Okay. I thought I'll take today, but since I don't have time today, I have to ask other trainers to arrange mock for you all. But I'll plan up. Okay. Today you might not have mock. Probably it might be Thursday or it might be Friday. Don't tell sir you have not informed. Okay. I am telling you now itself. It might be either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. Be prepared from your side. Okay. And I have told you, try your best, okay, in order to do well. Even if you don't do well, okay, I'm not going to kill you. Okay, I might just give some philosophy classes. Okay, you have to bear with that. Okay, so make sure, try to study. Don't try to ignore it. See, now we are already done with 20 sessions, I believe. Okay, 20 videos are there. Give time and watch. No, I know watching my session is only boring, and watching my videos again, it would be boring only for you. But that's what. Okay, make sure, try to prepare well. Okay, web mock is there on Saturday. Then we'll do Java and web mock both on Saturday. No, that would be better, I believe. Okay, so you can study both the things in a day. Okay, no, I don't want to stress. So you have web mock on Saturday, no? Okay, I'll plan up, guys. Okay, but make sure you be prepared. Okay, I'll plan up mock. Okay, and refer those videos. Okay, whichever videos, notes, whatever is there is all uploaded. Make sure watch it. Okay, and I'm telling you again and again, guys. Okay, don't try to neglect it. Hey, today's topic will create study tomorrow. We'll study tomorrow. We'll study tomorrow. Until that, I would have done oops only. If I'm done with oops here, okay, 60% is done. Okay, so make sure, oops, probably in another 2 weeks, I'm not sure, 2 weeks I should be able to do it. But if I'm not able to do it, probably 3 days I'll be done. Okay, so prepare from now only. Okay, in the next 2 weeks, you should all be pros at Java. Okay, that's the reason. That's my only concern. Okay, so yeah, okay, plan up and take time and prepare. Okay, now great, guys. Okay, so we shall wind up a session for today and catch up tomorrow. Okay, so thank you all. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice day.